Global Change broadcast with founder and music ambassador Skyler Jett and presenter Tom Bryant and Ryan Shewchuk. And our special guest today is Gerald Alston. Welcome to the show, Gerald Alston. You're from Henderson, North Carolina. As a teenager, you formed your own group, the Gerald Alston and the New Imperials. You were the Gospel Jubilee when you were playing in church from that time. You were, I believe, overheard rehearsing by the Manhattans, who then asked you to join with the tender age of 17.
That's right.
Wow, that's fantastic. Well, welcome to the show, and please tell us more.
Thank you. Thank you very much. It's my pleasure to be here and I get a chance to speak to my fans and let them know that we're still kicking high.
That's right. That's right. That's right. Wow. It's so beautiful. I mean, your career, where do you start? You know, what gave you that start to say, you know, I'm ready for this?
Well, actually, I started singing in church. I've sang in church all my life. I still do now. And I started out singing in church. My father was a Baptist minister, and he had a group called the Gospel Brothers, in which he sang with his uncle, his brothers, and cousins. And then the late Johnny Fields, he was one of the founding members of the Five Blind Boys of Alabama. He was my uncle.
Okay.
And they both inspired me. I also loved dearly Sam Cooke. So I was in a gospel family, a singing family, I should say, and predominantly gospel all my life. And I started singing in the church. And then when I met the Manhattans, that's when I realized, because I had been singing all through high school. Yeah. In fact, when I had started college that year, I was going to school for medicine. I wanted to be a doctor, a heart specialist.
Oh, wow.
And, but after I met the Manhattans, I realized that was my calling and that's what I needed to do. So I'm still kind of a heart specialist.
Yes. Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
Yeah, absolutely.
No, that's beautiful. You know, I always say, because shoot, I sing on a lot of records, but there's still nothing like, I mean, studio is cool, but it's nothing like performing in front of music lovers.
Oh my God. It's nothing like it. It is nothing like it. And I remember the first time was I hope I say this right, because I always say it backwards, but you know what I mean. The Odeon Hammersmith, we performed there.
Hammersmith Odeon.
Hammersmith Odeon.
Yeah, okay. I played there. Yeah, go ahead.
We performed there, and oh my God, I did a song that I'd written called Almost There.
Yeah.
And also, that was when I was solo, and I also did it with the Manhattans. And the standing ovations, the receptions that we received, we were there for like 10 days with the group when I was with the Manhattans.
Yeah.
And the other time I was there with Natalie Cole, and we did like just about 10 days through the UK. And it was unbelievable. And I'm speaking of this because of what you said, performing before a live audience.
There's nothing. Studio's cool. That's all good and stuff. You know, you hear your record come out and all that.
Yeah,
but man, when you got people for 5 minutes,
exactly,
in a song, and you got them. You know what I mean? The beautiful thing about the whole thing is like, now, you know, back in your day and my day and stuff like that. You know, after the show, people would come and want you to sign their albums or what, you know. So they have to stay. They have to stay till afterward to go get in line, right?
Right.
But I tell you what, what we have today that we didn't have. Right now, say you did a new song, and you watching them from the stage, you can see if they're receptive to it or not, right?
Exactly.
And you know, somebody get out of their seat. You know, you're doing something, right?
You're right.
Okay. So now you can go, did you like that? You can text me right now. And maybe 700 people bought it. They never moved.
Exactly. Yeah.
We didn't have that before.
Right. You know, it's working both ways still for me. I can get those hits off social media. And then when we perform it live, oh my God, we just left Brazil. And one of our biggest songs in Brazil was Forever by Your Side. It's just as big in Brazil. Forever by Your Side is just as big as Kiss and Say Goodbye. So when we sang Forever by Your Side, the audience went off. And I still get hits to this day. And that was back in April when I was there. I still get hits today from that show, from the TV show that we did, and from some of our performances.
You know the beautiful thing is a lot of them don't speak English.
Exactly.
Now, when I replaced Lionel, and we got to China, man, and I'm singing 3 times, 2 times a lady, and they had their lighters going side to side, 18,000 people like this, right?
Yeah.
And they're all singing 3 times a lady with me, right? And then when I tried to talk to them backstage, we couldn't have a conversation.
Exactly.
But they could sing 3 times a lady,
Yeah, they knew every word. And that's proof that music is a universal language. It speaks to everybody. The same thing happened to us in Japan. We played this venue, nice venue, and a group was opening for us called the Chanels. And the Chanels, we did it the next night. We did it. I forgot where we performed, somewhere in Tokyo. And they came on stage with us and sang Hurt with us, but could not speak English at all.
How about that? Ain't that the most beautiful thing ever?
That is. And not only that, they sound wonderful doing it.
Man, I got to tell you, I go to Portugal a lot.
Yeah.
It's only 10 million people in the country,
Mm-hmm.
but the musicianship is off the chain.
Wow.
All they do is study the West.
Mm-hmm.
You can tell the way they sing, who they mimic, and all that stuff but everybody plays at least 3 or 4 instruments and sing in that country. And I played the Coliseum there, man. I was the only American on the stage, right? Yeah. And it was the most, to have those people accept you like that, and you from a totally different country, is the most beautiful feeling ever.
Yes, it's a wonderful feeling. And not only do they understand it, the words, they know the words, they know the story of the song. And the same thing happens. What really happens to them is that our songs give them release from whatever they're going through. Our songs give them, and they really, those different countries that we play in, or we're speaking of, when they get that release, they'll let you know it.
Yeah, the other beautiful thing is that they spend their money to go. They got your record.
Yeah.
They go, I want to go see this guy sing that to me.
Yes.
And I don't care how many times you sing that song. You go out there for that 5 minutes. If you make them believe I'm singing directly to you,
that's it.
You'll have a fan for life.
That's it. That is it.
Tom, you got a question?
Yeah, I mean, as we've touched on, you're a Grammy Award-winning lead singer of the Manhattans from 71 to 88. You won a Grammy with the song "Shining Star." You obviously then went on into a solo career in the late 80s. Have you got any major highlights in that time at all? Anything that really sticks in your mind that you really loved?
What? Oh my God. Thank you.
That's a huge question. I understand. You've probably got hundreds, but
yeah.
The top of the line, the epitome, the height was tour, Scotland, the UK.
Really?
And Rotterdam with Whitney Houston in 1992.
Oh, wow.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Oh my God. That was it. That was, and let me just say just like this, I made it.
Yeah, that's right. You knew it was over there. Huh?
Yeah. And not only just the tour, but working with her.
Right.
She was a beautiful lady. And what I loved about her most, we all saw how she performed on stage. Great.
Yeah.
But off stage, when we were touring, she always would, like you have divas, male and female.
Yeah.
There was no part of diva with Whitney. We prayed together. She would come down. She had her own chef, but she would come down the dining room when we were eating. She would come down, stop by the dressing room. I would stop by her dressing room. I did Bible study with her. It was just awesome. And she made me feel as though I've been knowing her all the time.
Yeah, man. Yeah. That's how it is. Patty Austin is like my sister, right?
Oh, wow.
That's my sweetheart right there. But Ryan, you got a question?
Yeah, I'm gonna keep this family friendly, PG. Okay, I'm gonna keep it church church friendly. But Gerald, let's be real here. I mean, you've got decades of music, and I know you said you're consider yourself still to this day a heart specialist, but I feel like you might be another type of doctor, because I feel like there's probably been hundreds, or if not thousands, of babies made.
All right, to your music.
Because of your music. I mean, you got an album called Always in the Mood. So, I mean, what's it feel like to probably be such a life giver from your music? I'm sure there's been some babies made.
I'm going to answer this question. I never really answered it this way, but it's a wonderful feeling.
Yeah.
Because I've had younger people that have walked up to me and said, I think my mother and father conceived me off one of your songs.
Oh boy.
I've actually had that happen. And I've had mothers and fathers say, yeah, I conceived my child off your song.
So man, your child support payments got to be enormous.
My thing is this, when they tell me that, I said, look, I appreciate it, but just don't send me the bill.
I can dig it, brother. Well, listen, my brother Andre Pittman, he says, man, you got to get him on your show. And I need you to check out why we put this thing together. So Music for Global Change, there's some things I want to correct in the business. I want to take racism out of the business, age discrimination out of business, and image out of the business. None of them have anything to do with the sound of music.
Exactly.
Right. So it's the same 12 notes on the piano, and I don't care which way you want to go. You know what I mean? You said it best. It doesn't matter where you go in the world. People love music.
Exactly. It's so true.
And they don't care what color you are. They don't look at all that. Man, see, because you and I are old enough to remember when they didn't have no videos.
Right.
And you be in your car and you channel surfing and the music come on and you like it. That's all that mattered. You found yourself at the record store, right?
Yeah.
And that's what music's something you listen to. It's not something you look at. And so we need to get back to that. I want to get back to, how does it sound? I tell people all the time that, they poo-hoo me sometimes because, hey man, you don't know how to read no music. I say, yeah, but I'm on Stevie Wonder's record. I'm on Celine Dion's record. I'm on, I don't read, but they must have liked what I was doing, right? And so that when you take it in that perspective, that, and I want this badly. One of the reasons why I did Music for Global Change, because Ronald LaPrade, the bass player of the Commodores.
I don't know him personally, no.
Ronald, in 1984, we wrote a song, and we gave all the proceeds for a family that had 4 kids. We was going to pay for one of their school, college, right? And we gave all the money away from that. And at that time, George Wallace, a racist, we had to go to his office to ask him. And so our deal was we wanted to play this song simultaneously all over Alabama at the same time, right? And we gave the money away. That was the best feeling I ever had. Oh. So social conscious music, that's something we could do. We could take some of the money and help each other, right?
Exactly.
And so, well, who were some of your favorite artists, social conscious music artists?
Wow, Marvin Gaye, Sam Cooke, Gladys Knight, of course, The Temptations, Curtis Mayfield. These were artists that
Nina Simone.
Yes, Nina Simone. These artists, they sang from their hearts. It's like, I'll put it this way. They were the blues of their era.
That's right.
A blues song. And it wasn't really with the 3 chords in a blues song. It wasn't that. It was the lyric, the story.
Yes.
social consciousness about what's going on in the world.
Right.
They were the blues singers of their era, of their genre of music.
Yeah. And what I love the most is like, you could tell a story and inspire somebody to do something, right?
Exactly.
I toured with Sly and the Family Stone in 207.
Mm-hmm.
And when I started learning them songs, even though I heard them since I was a kid,
right.
I didn't realize they were social conscious songs.
Yeah.
I want to take you higher.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody watching you. I'm just everyday people.
Exactly.
And you know what really tripped me out? These songs were over by 3 minutes.
Mm-hmm. And look at the story they gave you. They told in 3 minutes.
Well, I learned from those hooks. Get to the hook fast. Bring them in. Don't stay in that verse too long. Yeah. Get them back in where they're singing along with you. And next thing you know, they're at the music store.
Right. Exactly. You know, I would definitely say Sly Stone and Marvin Gaye were so far ahead of their time musically.
Still today.
Yes.
That album's turned 50 years old, Marvin Gaye. Yes. It's still selling out, still outselling all the love songs that he ever wrote.
And I did, in fact, the Manhattans did Marvin Gaye's last tour. And
oh, wow.
It was awesome. You know the changes that Marvin was going through in his life.
Yep.
When he stepped on stage, it was like nothing was wrong. We toured with him all summer. I never heard his voice crack. I never heard him sing hoarse.
Wow.
This man was amazing.
Yeah.
And I'm an artist. When I join a group, I do not believe in having a big head. And this is what I learned from the Manhattans and groups like the Dells, Billy Davis and Merle McCoo. These people I've been around would tell you like it is. And I remember working, the last show we did with Marvin, we did at the Greek. Not the Greek, it was the Greek, but we did a show in Rochester, before went to the Greek. And I was coming through the airport and this lady walked up to me and asked for my autograph. I said, sure. She said, oh my God, is that Marvin Gaye? I said, yes. She said, do you think he'll give me an autograph? I said, I don't know, but I'll walk with you down there. And during the whole tour, we never got a chance to really sit down and talk. We'd see Marvin in passing, coming in, because he would come in just before he went on. And most of the time we were gone, except when we got to the Greek. But anyway, when I walked down there and said, Marvin, I'm Gerald, he said, I know exactly who you are. He said, you one of the baddest singing brothers I know. Wow. My head was this big. They told me I could sing.
Yeah, man.
Nobody tell me nothing.
Yeah, that's right.
And I carried it with me, but I did not use it negatively. But I carried it to this day because he by far is one of the greatest singers that I've seen walk the face of the earth.
Songwriters.
Yes.
I mean, content, like I love the story, man, about what's going on, right?
Yeah.
Barry Gordy said, hey, man, what record we doing now? You got all these women going crazy and throwing panties up on the stage and all that. What you doing do now? He said, man, the Vietnam War was going on. He goes, I got to tell people what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
That's where that title came from.
Yeah.
I got to tell them what's happening, right? Mm-hmm. And that record turned out to be bigger than all the love songs he ever wrote.
Mm-hmm. You're right.
Tom, you got another question?
Yeah, I mean, as we've mentioned here, you've had such a successful career with the Manhattans. Which do you prefer, singing in the Manhattans or singing as a solo artist?
Well, wow, that's in some sense that's a difficult question. But when it comes to my fan base, during my solo career, I toured the UK, I toured Amsterdam, we went to Rotterdam, we went to Scotland, we went to Germany, Japan. And everywhere that I went, South America, I was looked at. I was Gerald Alston, but I was Gerald Alston, not formerly of the Manhattans. I was always Gerald Alston of the Manhattans.
I love it.
And when I performed in Brazil the first time by myself, I remember Vesta Williams and I were there, and we did a couple of shows.
Vesta?
Yeah, in a couple. We had the same manager as well, and we did 2 big clubs. And Joe Sample was there at the second club.
Oh my God!
And we sang with him. Oh boy! But I remember in that club that we performed in, that I just did all of my new songs from my latest album at that time.
Yeah.
When the show ended, they didn't leave. They started calling out, "Sing crazy, sing it feels so good to be loved so much.
Oh wow!
Say goodbye, shining star." I stayed there for about another half hour to 45 minutes singing a cappella those songs.
Wow.
And they sang right along with you, didn't they?
Right along with me.
I bet
And
you
that made me,
Amazing.
that was just a confirmation that I'm a Manhattan regardless, no matter where I go as a solo artist. And I've had very much success as a solo artist, but I'm known for Gerald Alston of the Manhattan.
Man, it's something you said earlier. Now, because I put together with Sly's sister and we put together about 4 bands before Sly joined us, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I remember we was going out doing Sly songs, and I had told that nobody can sound like Sly and the guys, right? But I bet you if we go out and sing those songs, people will start singing along with us, and they're drinking and so this one time, man, this guy was standing on the side of the stage with a bunch of albums. He said, "Yeah, I made my daughter off this one right here," just like you said earlier, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, Buster, can you sign this one? I see. Well, once you got a hit out, I wrote a song for Al Jarreau, and I remember Al saying to me, "Skyler," he said, "I play jazz, man. If you look on Billboard, jazz is way down here as far as making money compared to R&B and pop and all that." Yeah. But then he goes, "I tell you what, but I've been lucky to have a couple of hits out. Now I put my kids through college, and I bought a couple of houses, and I'm doing jazz." He says, you still got to get the first one out first, though, Scott. You can have a bag full of songs." And he didn't get his break till he's 45, right? And he goes, "You still got to get your first one out first. Doesn't matter how many songs you got, and you can love all of them.
Yeah.
And once you get that one," he said, "you can fly around the world and go play that song wherever and still make money, still make a living."
That's true.
Ryan, you got another question?
You were talking about touring. Like, I know we had the pandemic in 2020. And I know that, everybody touring, that went out the window. Are you still touring? Are you still planning on touring today?
Yes, we still touring. In fact, this has been one of the best years we've had, even prior to the pandemic. We were in Brazil. We went to Mexico twice. We're getting ready to go back to South Africa, and we've been touring all over the United States. We just left. And we have quite a few dates on our schedule, and by the way, if our fans want to see it, our dates, they could go to our website, let's just kiss and say goodbye.com.
right?
And click on our tour. You can see our tour dates. And we have a CD, our latest CD called The Manhattans featuring Gerald Alston, The Legacy Continues. If you want to order the actual physical CD, you go to the same website, let's just kiss and say goodbye, order it and request an autograph, and I autograph it for you. Next to the United States, we've sold more records in South Africa.
Wow.
And I had there were 2 times that I seen Blue get emotional and I got emotional.
Yeah.
The first time we went to South Africa, we landed in Joburg and we did a press conference. They took us in a room, we did a press conference. So after the press conference, we go back to get our luggage. it was about 2,000 or 3,000 people at the airport waiting for us.
Wow.
Cheering and screaming. I mean, it was unbelievable.
Amen.
And then we sang at Standard Bank Arena. We were supposed to stay in South Africa for 4 days.
Right.
We stayed 15 days and performed every night, maybe with the exception of 2. Wow. Sold out every venue.
Well, listen, love you for that, brother. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because like I said, to spread your love all around the world, man, and receive that love back is a beautiful thing, man. Listen, namaste, my brother. Thank you so much for the privilege of your time to come on our show.
It is my pleasure.
We'd love to have an endorsement for you, because the thing that we teach young people about is lyrics that heal, educate, and solve problems.
Oh, yeah.
That's our whole thing, right? If I can get young people to start doing inspirational music, positive music, because people are tired of bad news. We go, right. Let's give bad news some competition.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree.
Much love, my brother. Thank you.
Thanks for joining us, Gerald.
Namaste. Right. Namaste. Okay.
All right.
Take care, my brother.
All right.
Okay. Bless up, Andre, for introducing us. Right.
Yes. Andre, gotta give him a shout out.
Much love, brother. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Gerald.
All right. Take care.
Music can save the world. Music can save the world. If we all get together, music can save the world. Yeah. Music can save the world. Music can save the world. If we all come together, music can save the world. There's an urgency facing our humanity.
Thank you so much for watching. To stay up to date, please click subscribe and hit the bell. You can also join our group on Facebook and find us on LinkedIn and Instagram.